Welcome to the Escape with Nick and Adam, where tonight we do the fans strike back. So we have a roundtable of guests tonight, but we have my beautiful co-host Adam. How are you, sir?
I am swell because it's a ever round and find out world.
Jay, how are you doing? Welcome back, sir.
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Jay. So glad that you are here, sir.
I'm glad to be here today.
It's good to see the toys in the back. I forgot to text you to say make sure you talk about your spawns.
Oh, God, for sure.
And Jerry, thank you so much for coming back, my friend.
You're very welcome. What about the beautiful Jerry? I don't get an adjective.
I know, right? No, he gets Doc.
I guess, yeah, we got Doc Ock Jerry, yeah.
and trust me, I need the compliment. I got a face for radio, so.
Yes. So, all right, guys. Like I said, tonight we asked the question: are the fans starting to fight back? And because earlier this week, Adam and I we did our Thor: Love and Thunder review. Jay, have you seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet?
I have not, but you're going to struggle to get me to watch that in the theater.
That's fair. Jerry, I don't think you've seen it yet, have you?
I did. I went and saw it.
Oh, you did?
On Saturday, yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, I went with my brother, who's a huge
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka. He's a big fan. He's been a guest on the show before, and he loved it. I liked it very much. I did.
Right.
It wasn't my favorite. It's like it seemed like it was. It couldn't make up its mind what it wanted to be. If it was funny, it wasn't quite funny enough. It was supposed to be a romance. It wasn't quite romantic enough. If it was an adventure, it wasn't quite adventurous enough. So I walked away feeling a little bit unsatisfied. Although honestly, it's summer entertainment. There's not a lot of movies out there right now. I love the movies, so it was fun just to go. I like seeing it in the theater. I like my big popcorn with free refills, so I always miss some. I pee halfway through, and so I always miss the middle. But
don't get me wrong. Sorry.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, don't get me wrong. I love going to the movies. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. I just after I had spent money on Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, I'm struggling to get back for a Marvel movie.
That's kind of what this is about.
Well, and that was kind of my point with Thor: Love and Thunder. I was like, well, let's see. We had such light topics as one of the main characters has terminal cancer, and Gore the God Butcher. What doesn't say hilarity ensues after that?
Fun summer fun.
Yeah, it's like, and by the way, if you brought your kids, enjoy trying to tell them what an orgy is later. Thanks, Taika.
Oh, that's right.
That's
and the kid dies too. The God.
Yeah. Kids die in the beginning. Kids are just like, one of the big things with Buzz Lightyear was, hey, the big thing was, there's a kiss that. Guess what? No one cares about the kiss, but it's one of those things where I think parents are starting to go, no, I'm going to decide when I'm having these conversations with my children, not Disney. And when when Disney is supposed to be a Disney movie, and you have to, when you are guaranteed a bunch of kids came out and said, "What's an orgy?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, shit. Thanks Disney, thanks Taika.
See, I already know how I'd handle something like that because I'm messed up. I would tell them that it's something completely not what it is. Like, that's just like when you stub your toe by a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe one day in the summer they'll stub their toe at a stop sign and tell the neighbors that they just came from an orgy.
And once a bunch of people, bang their toe, that's a gangbang. So don't worry.
And that's when all your friends shoot cap guns.
Yes, we are definitely not for kids, and we are going to be spoiling some stuff. So
my kid be like, went to a gangbang. My dad paid for everything.
Me and my friends had a gangbang. Son of a So yeah,
Sorry,
you can
Nick,
tell.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't let that joke go.
And so he's like, wait, hold on, we still got some jokes in here. We're gonna go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Hey,
give up on the gangbang.
Guys, I got to go check something real fast. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, it's not
No,
professional.
You're
But
good.
No, it's all
Yeah.
good. We're only in a hurry.
Because well, we just got talking about gangbang jokes, so we're strictly the height of professionalism right now.
Right.
But Jay, I know one of the big things that came out of Thor: Love and Thunder. Adam kind of said, "Yeah, I'm done with Marvel right now, expecting anything of quality from Marvel right now."
Well, there's another
Oh, yeah.
factor. There's another factor that made me decide that, though, and that happened today. But if you guys want to talk about it, I'll make my point. I just got to look up some names so I don't look like a chud. I just heard the news just as I was coming to the show. So
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, Jay, what do you think of the state of kind of Marvel Disney right now, or Disney Marvel right now?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't think they know what their state of what they're doing is. And it really shows in the movies. I mean, Nick, you said it the most all the time. It's like, with Thanos, you had like the clear path of where all these movies were going. They had it all set up. They knew where they wanted to go with it, and they wanted to make that big Avengers event. It's like now there's not only are they struggling to replace the Avengers, but they're struggling to, I mean, just come up with stuff. They're kind of all over the place with everything.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed part of the conversation there, but that's what I was going to say something similar. I think it's hard to top the Avengers. That whole arc, all the origin stories, and all that. So anything after that's going to be disappointing. And I assume, and I might be off here. I'm sorry, I missed. I assume that they're trying to do it again, but like with the Eternals, boy, that one sucked. And I just don't see.
Yeah.
I just and I wanted to like it. I wanted to be in the MCU again. And I don't know. Those are the glory days, man. So
Well, and that was, I mean, we can talk about all the problems with the Eternals, but I had an assumption as to what they were going to do with the Eternals, and I was 100% right. It seemed to me to be the movie where we're going to check as many boxes as we can for, oh, we got one of those. Hey, we got a disabled person. We've got all these different people of color, and it turned into a movie where you just were able to check as many boxes as possible and say you are as progressive or as woke as you can possibly be in one movie. Oh, by the way, the story comes like second or third.
yeah.
So, and then Jay, you alluded to it. So when it came to the first few phases, like, oh, there was a plan. There was a well laid out plan. But I think one of the things that we're missing, especially in phase 4, which I've referred to as a rudderless ship spinning in circles, not knowing anywhere where it's go. But at the beginning of the MCU, you had so many titans at the peak of their creativity. You had Joss Whedon, you had Kenneth Branagh, you had Edgar Wright, you had all these people shaping the MCU in one way or another, either by directing or writing. And now, what do we have? Taika Waititi. Adam, we're talking before the show. I'm so already sick of Taika Waititi and what he does.
well, let me.
Or the dogs, apparently.
Here's the thing about Taika Waititi, and I agree. I've had Taika Waititi fatigue for a long time. I saw a little film about 2 years ago called Jojo Rabbit, and it was amazing. It was not what these Thor movies are. If you think about like World War II and the Nazis, it was a satire that made the Nazis look absolutely ridiculous. Yet they showed the actual kind of horrible stuff that they would do. For instance, the Nazis would find sympathizers, German sympathizers, and hang them in town so everybody would know. On the other hand, as Berlin or whatever is getting ready to be invaded, the Nazis said, I said, bring me German shepherds. And the guy's like, I did. And you see all these men that are shepherds. They're not dogs, they're shepherds. And so it was really done well. And it's like you said, Jerry, it was only two things that he had to deal with in that movie. So that movie knew what it was. That movie touched their heart. But the Thor movies are not something he should be doing. He's not an untalented director. And then to add kind of more insult to injury, what convinced me, and I pulled up the guy's name. I had forgotten it. So on top of all of this stuff, I had fun with Thor: Love and Thunder. First of all, I didn't walk out hating it. I was kind of in a crap mood when I saw it. It lightened me up, made me laugh, made me smile, teared me up a little at the end. But it still is not a superhero movie. It feels like there's Michael Jackson's Beat It, and there's Weird Al's Eat It. And this is Eat It inside this is like the Eat It of the MCU, except there's no Beat It, and then when you get to the news that dropped either today or just recently, an actor from the Black Panther movie, his name is Daniel Kaluuya, and he's from Britain, and he was supposed to be, or he played T'Challa's best friend. He turned down returning to Black Panther, which is big time, Marvel money, to do a movie with Jordan Peele that had more artistic credibility, which was Nope, which is coming out. And you would think a man like this would choose to do that because he is the Academy Awards, or the Oscars gave him an Academy Award for Messiah and the Black Jesus and the Judas and the Black Messiah. So he's already won an Oscar. He's like, do I do this poppy movie and get all this money, or should I do something I could sink my teeth into? And now good actors are thinking that way, because I'm going to ask all three of you guys right now, if you could be anyone you wanted in the Marvel universe, who could it be? Who would it be? But you got to pick somebody that's not been used already. So what are your choices? Iron Man's gone. Captain America's gone. Spider-Man's gone a bunch of times. That's my point right there. So you got quality actors turning away from movies that were quality, which Black Panther was. If you didn't see it, that's fine. But it still was a good movie at the end of the day. Even if you didn't like it, it was a good movie. This, a little something different. So that's my take on it. You're seeing people who are of high caliber, Oscar-winning material, starting to walk away from this stuff and pass up these roles, or kill themselves off, just like Natalie Portman just did.
Right. Well,
I
Adam,
don't go with that.
you bring up some good points, because you know what? It's the originality, like Nope. I'm looking forward to seeing Nope, because I've never seen anything like that. It's like the MCU, for how many years we've been doing this now? 10, 11, 12, 14. There's the formula. It started off with a couple little jests between the guys, and Loki and Thor nudging each other. And so they take what works and they keep on making it bigger and bigger and more characters and more jokes and more. And it doesn't work anymore. It was made. It was great when there were just those little jabs. But now the formula that worked doesn't work anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whoops.
No, I agree.
They're hiring people who don't know what to do with the material too.
Which I think that's what Taika Waititi's. Because I sent you the thing today where he's like, "Yeah, if I do the next Thor movie, I think I want to turn it. What do you? I forget exactly what he called.
No, he wants it. No fighting, no action sequences at all for Thor 5. This is coming from him. He goes, if I do it, this is what I want to do. I want to make it just Thor on a road trip.
Yeah, no one wants to see that.
Yeah.
No.
And I'll give him credit for trying to do something different. Okay, that's good. I'm a little nervous. I don't know if it's just talk of him doing a Star Wars movie, and I kind of get that too.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
The next live action Star Wars movie
for
is
Disney. He is the hot name right now for Disney. He's being attached to almost every project that Disney has going forward.
Well, to Adam's point, he's a good director, but not for every single project that comes his way. I don't know. And but the formula for all the Star Wars universe, that's been kind of done to death too. I mean, there's only so much you can do. In so many ways you can fend off a lightsaber and make it interesting. So maybe
I would be better at keeping him as a voice actor. Because he was IG-11.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, right, he was.
Who was IG-11?
Taika
Waititi.
Oh, was he? Right.
Well, and he directed one of the episodes. Like you said, he's not a bad director, but he's got a niche. Like, For example, Adam, it came on HBO Max. I watched it. What is the Night in Soho?
Oh, yeah.
Did you now?
Yeah, it's on, and it's an Edgar Wright movie. I love Edgar Wright. I think he's one of the most talented people. He's one of the most talented filmmakers there are. And this movie, I'm going to say it was a miss on a couple different things. But it was nice to see him try something different.
Fair enough.
And it was very much, I think it was one of those movies where he's actually trying to do, it's not a comedy. It's not, it's a little bit more on the horror side. And there's a few beats, I think if it were in the hands of a different director, there'd be a few things that would have made it better. But that's one of those movies where I was like, okay, you missed a little bit. It wasn't terrible. I'm not going to be that guy, but I'll say it was a miss. But it was nice to say, hey, Edgar Wright's trying something different. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to kill him on it.
Got it. Yeah, I was actually looking at that at lunch today, thinking maybe that'll be my next. I can watch movies in little like half-hour segments during lunch, so maybe that'll be my next one. Well, maybe.
I gotta be honest. If I want to see Taika Waititi direct something, I actually wouldn't mind him go to Hit Monkey, do something Marvel. I don't know if any of you guys have. I don't know if you guys watch Hit Monkey.
I've heard it's kind of something he would be. It's a little funny, little insane, though, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like his niche kind of movie. It's one of those things that it's like not one of those things you're not gonna. It's not a real life thing. But when you watch it in the cartoon, they made the cartoon work, and Jason Sudeikis is great in it. And I mean, it was, to me, it's probably one of my favorite cartoon shows out there right now. It was awesome. I loved Hit Monkey.
Okay. You brought that up, and it made me think about the Three Stooges. Taika Waititi would do an awesome Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there you go. Because he does have that kind of off-center sense of humor. Mm-hmm. I mean, I laughed with the goats screaming when you hear them.
Okay. Well, that's what I said. One of my most favorite things on the planet is screaming goats. I know it's super niche and super weird, but I think it's one of the funniest things on the planet. But after the fourth or fifth time, I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I get it. It's not hilarious every single time. You don't
have that one time. There was that one time that we talked about, Nick, that we said that the screaming goat joke, even if it was overdone by that point, the joke landed so well it should have been done earlier. And that's when spoilers here, Jay. I don't know if you care.
No, it's all good.
There's screaming goats. I don't know if that changes if you're going to go to the theater or not, but they're flying through space and all this stuff in a boat, and the goats are pulling it kind of like Santa's reindeer, and they just crash land on Zeus's like lawn or whatever, this by his big pantheon. And all you hear is ah! And I was like, I don't know, man. Slushy almost came out my nose at that part.
And I guess
that's got to be kind of funny.
That was funny.
That's really how Thor got around in legend and lore, I guess. He had a
it
was supposed to be rams, I thought, but yeah,
rams.
It's like the rams from not Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit. Like the dwarfs have all the rams towing everything.
Right.
Yep. So, I got to give it credit visually too, though. I mean, I liked.
There we go.
The boat in space. Yes.
Every time, I love it. Makes me happy.
Yeah, so funny.
Oh no.
And it's COVID that's killing all the movies, man. Like you were saying, Jay, I love to go to the movies too, and it seemed like every other summer of my life, there's a couple a month that are good ones, and every week there's a little one. If I had $5 movie night, I'd go see it. There's nothing out there. I don't want to go see Elvis, really. And,
I'm on the fence about that too.
Yeah.
I saw. I was like, yeah, not for me. Not Elvis ain't for me.
No, the only one I really want to see is Maverick. That's one I haven't been to yet. That's one I want to see in theaters.
Maverick, you have to go see. If you're going to go see it on the biggest possible screen you can see it on.
Exactly. That's kind of my point with that one.
That's my only suggestion. If you can find an IMAX or something comparable, go there, because and sit as close as you can. Go to IMAX and sit close because you just want to be immersed in that. Because unless hope you don't get like motion sickness or anything, but it's freaking that was.
I
loved
don't.
it.
But
Yeah, I like that.
actually, speaking of IMAX, have you guys ever been to Henry Ford IMAX? Adam, I think you have, haven't you? You went with us
I
before,
haven't
didn't you?
been
No?
since I was
I
a
don't think
kid.
so.
That gave me motion sickness as a kid. That made me go like, oh.
Oh yeah, that is by far the best IMAX screen there is. I love that one.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
that's what I thought it was. That's when they started coming out with all the IMAX theaters. Like that was what I was expecting. I was like, it's just a big screen. This ain't the IMAX I'm used to. I'm used to like being in the middle and like freaking out at stuff.
I've been there quite a few times, but just to see like the free movies about the Apollo or National Park or something that they got playing, I've never seen like a feature movie there. I think that'd be very cool to see.
Oh yeah, I think the first one we went to see was like the first Transformers movie,
Uh-huh.
and oh my god, I mean the sound, everything. It's so much bigger, so much better. It just immerses you in everything. It was absolutely awesome. I mean,
Very cool.
I love
if you
going
once
to see
saw
stuff
Maverick
there.
there, you might throw up. And if
Good.
I knew that going ahead, I still would go.
I was just gonna say it'd be worth the experience.
100%, 100%. Give me 2 buckets, one empty and one full of popcorn. So
Now we're getting away from the topic, but where do you guys sit in the theater? Because I like to sit in row 2 or 3. I really do. I go with my wife. She wants to sit in the very back because you can see the whole screen. No, that's not the point. You want to be kind of immersed, you know?
no,
That's a good
100%.
point, too.
Like our theater, and Adam's been to our theater that we go to, Sperry's has very intimate, like only like 30 or 40 seats typically are most of the things, and so it's a very intimate seated thing. And yeah, I don't go first row, but usually second or third row.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my whole periphery is filled.
I'm
I'm
the
bad. I
center
kind of like
back.
the middle back. Yeah.
I'm all the way to the back row. If I gotta take the other 2 in front of it as a consolation prize, I will. But I like your idea though about sitting up front. I used to sit up front when I was a teenager, sit in the very front row, and then people just stopped wanting to go to the movies.
That's
No,
funny.
but getting back to your point, Jerry, I agree. And part of the problem is the success of Marvel is where if it's not a Marvel or superhero movie, like it's not a hit.
Hmm.
And I think I was listening to another podcast where there used to be 7 to 8 movies during the summer where you wanted
Yeah.
to go see.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Like how there's maybe 2 or 3 a summer, or even like you said with COVID in a year, where you're like, yeah, that'll actually get me outside, because that's one of my wife and I's favorite thing is going to the movies. We've already been now to the movie like 2 or 3 times just in the last month. But if it weren't for the show that we do, but also like that's been such our thing, is just going to the movies because we enjoy our movie going experience so much.
For sure.
But yeah,
Oh
back
God,
in the
we
day,
used to do midnight movies.
midnight movies. Yeah, that's like that was the other thing too. Midnight movies were so freaking cool. One of my favorite memories is I took my son and I went to a midnight showing to go see Dark Knight. That was one of my favorite things. Like, it was because you got the crowd that you were really wanted to be there with. You got the nerds, you got the movie enthusiasts. Like, I remember at the end, like, people clapped, and my son's like, "All right, yeah, we're clapping," because it was because everybody appreciated the movie so far. He had not been to a movie where anyone, you might get a couple laughs, a couple here, but like there was actually reactions. People were cheering. People were, and
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
and now you get like a Thursday at 3:00, and you're like, well, that's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out right now. Don't have to wait till midnight.
Oh yeah, well, are we going to go to a midnight Wednesday showing? I was like, no, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Kind of that worked out for me with Endgame though. And what happened was I had gotten out of a doctor's appointment right after work, and so must have been about 5:45 or something. And I was listening to a podcast where they said, I went and saw Endgame today. I got to see a special showing or something last night, and I thought to myself, Well, it's the day before it comes out. It's showing. I'm like, what am I going to go do? Go home and watch that stupid show with Tim Allen that I can't stand? That's never going to be Home Improvement. I don't want to watch that. So I went on, and there was like 2 seats available, and I got a seat. And I saw Endgame, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, Endgame, I was surprised. I'm not ashamed to say it. I was surprised how much I teared up in that. Man, oh man.
God.
But anyway.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie. But like me now, how many of you guys find yourselves watching all of Endgame over? Do you watch the whole movie if you watch it again?
Pieces of it.
If I sit down to watch it, I usually will. Or it's one of those I'll put it on and like I said, I don't know if you're going this way. Like I'll watch bits and pieces, or I don't really care if I fall asleep. It's one of those like, oh, it's a long movie. If I fall asleep, whatever, it's not a big deal. But most of the Marvel movies, I just kind of, if I put it on, it's more of a background thing instead of like, oh, we're gonna sit here and focus on this movie.
For me, like Endgame, all I do is end up watching the final fight again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you'll watch bits and pieces of the rest of it, but it's like I just kind of watch the end fight.
Yeah.
The 2 Marvel movies that I get hooked in, I haven't done it in a while, but the first Captain America and the first Iron Man.
Oh
Doesn't
no!
matter what genre.
If those come
great movies.
those come on at any time, I'm sitting down and watching the whole thing. It's like if
Yes.
Shawshank or something is on, I was like, no, well, this is what I'm doing for the next 5 hours if it's on TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah.
But no, like, and I've said this before. There's about, I'll say 80% of the MCU it's not great. It's mediocre at best.
Mhm.
And like I said,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Once
Totally
we get past the first, the first Marvel, the second Marvel, or the first Iron Man, the second Iron Man, third Iron Man, but the only one that was consistently good all the way through was the Captain America's, but that's because it became like Avengers 2.5 or 3.5 or whatever. So there was very few movie franchises throughout the entire run where they're good and consistent all the way through.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. I liked Iron Man 2. I didn't like Iron Man 3. I couldn't stand it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Jay, I was just thinking about what you said about Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. They're all the like top shelf, most popular heroes are done. Their story has been told. So now, I don't know who that girl was in the jean jacket, and then when she went
Oh, America Chavez.
it made a star-shaped thing. Like, when I was 12, I would have walked around going kapow in my backyard. But now it's like, well, so I don't know. If there's...
I don't know what that movie was just. That was just horrible. I think. I guess I didn't. It's not even comic book wise that because I never really read Doctor Strange. To me, just that movie, it was so lackluster and boring. And like even some of the stuff that you would think would make sense, like the one creature they did that looks like Shumagorath. It's like, why did you pull that out? Why don't you just? I'll tell you what. If you want to see more of Wanda, if everybody wants to see more of Scarlet Witch, hell, why not team her up with Doctor Strange and fight Shumagorath? Because that's a kind of an enemy there that you would definitely need 2 Avengers like them to fight.
Let me ask you something though, Jay. Now that you've seen the whole movie, I finally saw it too because I watched it at home after falling asleep.
All about Wanda.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't that have been a Wanda movie?
Oh.
Don't you think that should have been Wanda's movie? That movie should have been called Scarlet Witch, and they should have taken the scenes and reduced Doctor Strange. He could have been a good guy / the villain, and she should be the bad guy / the hero. Not the hero, but what was the protagonist? She's who the movie's about. Why not have the bad person who, be what the movie is about?
In all honesty, it would have made more sense doing that because honestly, I think the title had nothing to do with the movie, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't see anything but jokes. Oh, here we go with the jokes. I didn't see anything but joke. I know. I didn't see anything but jokes about the multiverse. Well, there's one universe where we're paint, and there's one universe where a clown is chasing me everywhere.
Well, and
exactly.
And that's part of the problem when you introduce the multiverse, then nothing matters. Then what's the point of having consistency? Because, well, if we have we've got a bad Wanda in this universe, well, let's just go get a good one and pull her from this universe. It's like,
You're gonna make me start talking about the Flash.
well,
Oh, do
I
you
say
know what?
we'll get to the DCEU too.
But Mike, just as you meant the multiverse, I have this feeling that Warner Brothers is more than upset because I think that maybe the ship was finally kind of steered the right way, and then this guy goes out and does all this stupid shit, and they're like, we can't reshoot it,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be more. And they're, I bet you they even tossed it around to calling the movie Flashpoint Batman Returns, because you could just bring Keaton in, shoot some more stuff, and kind of turn it around.
And because we talked about that a while ago, and there's been a recent push on Twitter for Ezra's replacement.
Yeah. Did you see who?
Yes, and if that happens, I would rather have Ezra Miller,
Yeah.
Who? Oh,
Elliot
shit,
Page.
no.
Elliot Page.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
Jesus.
It's
Christ.
topical. It checks a lot of boxes. Is that the best person for it? Nah, I
Well,
don't think so.
Ezra Miller's non-binary, so think about the connection there.
Yes.
You have to call
Yes,
him
sir.
they.
Yes,
When you're
sorry,
talking to
they,
him?
them.
Yeah, I can't say like if I was talking about one of you guys and you were non-binary, I'd be like, my friend Jay, they like to eat pizza when they are home alone by themselves.
I have a joke. Would you like to hear a non-binary joke?
Sure.
Sure.
So I want to show up in Marvel Universe as a chocolate bar, or a non-binary transgender chocolate bar, and my pronouns will be her, she.
I like it.
Oh,
That was a long way to go.
And-
That was a long way to go to get to a very good dad joke. Very well done, Jared.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm not gonna quit eating Hershey bars.
Well,
Oh,
I got
God.
canned
Yeah,
laughter.
yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, can't laugh at it. That's all we got. That's all we got for you. All right, but so let's get to some serious stuff now. So, like I mentioned earlier, Buzz Lightyear is considered a flop. What do you guys think that is Thor going to be the second Disney flop in a row?
No.
Because it hit the earliest projections for opening at 142 million, and I've heard. Thanks, Sherry Vansky. You guys are gra.
I changed it. I changed it.
But so I think I heard somewhere along the lines where it's got to hit right around 600 to 650 million to just break even. And my projection is I think this will probably end up all said and done doing about 700 million. I would be surprised because I think there's going to be a very steep decline from ticket sales to next weekend. So
Mhm.
If it does 700
Yeah.
million, then the sequel's guaranteed. I mean, that means if they improve their efforts, the next one can hit $1 billion. And Waititi's already talking about making a cross country stupid Thor 5. So I don't think it'll put the. Nah, man, I think you got to be a real Batman and Robin with Clooney and all that stuff to really kill something that quick.
Well, and I think they're expecting if they put out a top tier a Thor, an Avenger level character movie, they're expecting to make a minimum of $1 billion.
Mhm.
And I think if it comes in at even if it comes at 800 million, it still should be considered a flop, because if you put out a Thor movie, you should make it close to $1 billion.
Well, here's the problem. They're all going to do well because there's nothing else to see. People are hungry for entertainment. I went and saw Thor. I enjoyed it. Like I said, if that was just one of a dozen movies this summer, I don't know if I would have rushed out to see it. And I saw it the first weekend it was open.
Yes, Jerry, but are you telling other people to go see it?
Not really.
No, because when I came out of Maverick, I told every single person I know, like I was
Yeah.
just telling Jay earlier, I was like, go see this movie and go see it on the biggest screen you can find. I told that to every single person that hell, people didn't ask, and I told them, and I told other people that who were like, "Oh, how was it?" I was like, "Go see it now." And just from word of mouth, that movie has gone for now, going on 2 months, and it still has legs.
Because it's a quality movie. It's got plot. It knows what it is. Even though it's a little predictable. They're Goose's son is.
Well, and I said spoilers, but also, hey, what was really really nice at the very very beginning of the movie? Tom Cruise came out and said, "You know what? Thank you for coming out to see my movie."
You know what? I know that's canned. I know that's filmed in a studio.
I don't care.
Like it.
I don't care if it's him acting 100%, but it was just very nice to say, "Hey, we know the last couple of years have sucked, and you made the choice to come out and see my movie. Thank you."
Yeah.
And what are you getting from Marvel people and Star Wars people? If you don't like it, you're racist.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, though. Hey, but
what do you want to be called? You want to be thanked for actually spending your hard-earned money, or do you want to be, "Hey, I didn't really like this movie. Oh, you didn't like the movie? You're a shit. You're a piece of shit, and you're racist."
You have to like what I like, or
yeah.
Going along that earlier thread with Taika Waititi maybe not being in his element, I personally would love to see Quentin Tarantino do the next Star Trek movie. I know you guys have heard that.
I know
out there.
I know about the script too.
Do you?
It's City on the Edge of Forever.
Okay.
I believe with the one Joan Collins was in.
Right.
The episode with Joan Collins. They accidentally. Bones goes crazy over some medicine or something. He goes mad, and they're around this time portal that you see in Discovery. Jay, that's what you see in Discovery when the Asian woman goes through that portal. That was That was from City on the Edge of Forever from the original Star Trek. And so they're like, they got to go back and get him. They end up in gangster Chicago back in the 20s. And they go, "What kind of heat is these?" They're talking about their favorites, like heaters, and all this kind of stuff. So they actually almost get killed by the mob, Spock and what's his name, Kirk, and they end up the woman. I got stumbled. Joan Collins, the beauty of the show. They had to let her die. She gets hit by a car, and they know.
And they had to hold Kirk back because I remember that.
Yep, because he couldn't interfere with history, and he had feelings for her. So he had to let her die.
So that's what the script is, huh?
Well, that's what Tarantino's script is based off of. That one episode.
I heard it was like the big thing was it was R-rated, but I think I love Quentin Tarantino. Everything he's done, I could watch. Talk about movies you can watch over and over again. I can drop into Django anytime. I can drop in. I love him.
Right there, you guys just opened up like a huge Pandora's box. I mean, because honestly, that's all we've been sitting here talking about us how all the quality actors are leaving because they don't want to do a Marvel movie. How about you go a different route and start getting all these off the wall directors, like Tarantino, or get like somebody horror for like Ghost Rider and stuff like that. Get some of your good. Have Rob Zombie direct a movie. It's like,
wouldn't that be fun? That would be great. I love that.
I like that idea.
Huh?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. At the beginning, you had all these great directors and these great writers, and now you've pissed off so many people, or if you let them get canceled, or you've let them, whatever. It's now you're left with not nearly the talent pool that you have left, and
you're left with lukewarm and likable.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to bring up there's an article that's being kicked around because guess what? Now the VFX artists don't want to work with Marvel anymore, or if they are, the good ones are leaving because from this article from Newsweek, VFX artist calls Marvel horrible to work for as Taika Waititi mocks CGI. But basically, it's the Adam and I were talking earlier. If you've worked in the big three, you worked anywhere. Yeah, working for these big companies has a benefit to an extent, but after a while, you just end up burning people out too much, and you're starting to notice that because what's one of the biggest things that people have complained about a lot of the latest Marvel movies is bad CGI. because it looks rushed. You're not giving, you're not giving the artist enough time to make the things look good. They've machine, they've automated everything so much. Everything, it's like it's just like an assembly line. Everything's down to a formula. Insert, start, insert plot. It's like a Mad Lib, and then you just send it off. And when the directors direct the thing, oh, it's against a green screen anyway. So let all the VFX artists, and now you've got the VFX artists stressed, and they don't want to do the work anymore. A lot of guys are saying, I don't even want to do VFX anymore, especially if we're going to work with Marvel.
No, that's too bad. But it does get you said about the formula, it's just bigger and bigger. And it's just like Jurassic Park. They had a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they had to have the next biggest one. Then they had to create one genetically, and then and that had to eventually end, unless they bring it back to almost like a handheld camera and Thor in a cave and just doing it simple again. But
you know what these Thor movies are? Can't you just bring that up? Well, yeah. These Thor movies are A Nightmare on Elm Street. The first Nightmare on Elm Street, scary as hell, independent movie, really good. Second one, it was hardcore, but wasn't really well received that way. And the third one came out, and that was like their breakaway pop hit, even though it wasn't a bad movie. But everything else after that is just like Ragnarok, and here we go. And by the time you get to Freddy's Dead, Freddy's a clown. He's like, time to play Freddy. And he only kills people inside little video games or stuff like that. He becomes Ringling Brothers.
Becomes a cartoon. But that's the theory of the kings, I've heard it called, where, the first king of a new country, he conquers. He loves his people. He's got the best of the people in mind, and he puts in roads and public libraries, and he's an awesome king. And his son does okay, pretty good, but then the grandson is kind of like, by the time you get to the fourth grandson, they're like, dicking around, spending all grandpa's money. So same thing. It's just,
you get Marie Antoinette.
Exactly. So I don't know. So they have, I don't know. Do they reboot it? But Marvel, they're again the big hitters were they shot everything that first go around. So who's left?
That's
Black
exactly,
Adam.
Well, that's DC, but that's one of the things that we brought up earlier this week was, well, how are we going to introduce the X-Men, the mutants into it? And Adam and I were kicking around some ideas. And Adam, how are they going to introduce the mutants?
It is finally out, folks. There is a mutant. There's a mutant in the MCU, and her name is Ms. Marvel. She is the first mutant ever.
What the F?
I know that you didn't know that, Jay. I'm watching your face right now.
So Adam and I had ideas where, hey, let's do a period piece, or at least that was my idea. Let's do a period piece, kind of how Captain America was. It starts in the in the 50s and 60s, and we can work our way up a little bit that way. No, let's do it the laziest possible way we can. And we're going to introduce it for a character that no one likes, for a TV show that no one's watching. Oh, I see we have Deadman. The Deadman BS showing up today.
Captain America has a spot on the shelf. I do not.
So it's instead of doing it properly, let's half-ass it and just have it this. And I was talking to Adam. I was like, what's the only way that you could garner interest in their TV show? Let's make it something that completely doesn't make sense, but we have to get people trying to watch this anyway. Let's make the girl who's supposed to get her powers from her rings, now she's the first mutant in the MCU. What the bleep?
Oh, is that series on Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ms. Marvel.
I haven't seen it.
You're not the only one.
The clickbait was Miss Marvel series fills in a big hole in the MCU, or they were trying to make diehards like us go, okay, I'll watch it just to see, but no, haven't turned it on, probably won't.
And here's the thing, I don't mind you using characters like that for, hey, if young girls want a hero to look up to, make it that show. That's okay, but you don't make it canon into the universe where I was like, that just doesn't make any sense at all in the Marvel scheme of things. And it looks shoehorned, and it just sounds stupid.
And they whoever signed off on this and whoever came up with it doesn't know the property. Because here's the problem that I always wondered, how will the MCU conquer this? And I had total faith in them. I had it until now. We're living in a world where there's Captain America, which was engineered by man. We're also living in a world with aliens. We're living in a world with a Spider-Man that, you know, a lot of people love him. People in New York would stick up for him, all that kind of stuff. And now we're going to just start hating mutants when mutants are everybody? So he's different because he can, I don't know, shoot fire out of his hands, and we hate the guy. I understand fearing the guy, but hey, you can't sit next to me on the plane, or you can't come into my restaurant, mutant, get out of here. Where's that going to come from in that world? Because that world loves their heroes and has already had experience with what Image Comics would call in the 90s SPBs, superpowered beings. And if you're all looking at me and saying, I don't know, well, me too.
No, because
I got a perfect idea.
It takes away the importance of what the X-Men actually meant, from the 60s to the 90s.
I actually got a great idea for that. You want to have that mutant hating?
Yeah.
Let's actually make the Skrulls what they are, evil, and have fucking Secret Wars. Have a Secret Wars movie. Now everybody hates Skrulls, and what are the most? I mean, what can be the most closely considered to Skrulls is mutants.
Yeah, well, even that works. That works really well.
But again, now you got to worry about them doing a Secret Wars movie that would be horrible.
I want to know from the comics: has Ms. Marvel ever been hated for just having powers?
Oh, they hate her because she's a bad comic.
Well, no, I mean in the world, like in her comic book world, they're like, we're best friends. Oh, Nick, you're a mutant. Fuck you. Does she have to face that in the comics? I don't know. I never read them, but that's what you need for this movie. Or maybe I'm just being too serious and a little too emo about it, but that's fucked up.
Well, no, that show just doesn't make sense. That's the problem. It's like they do this stuff and they insert it at the wrong place, and then it doesn't make sense, and they can't figure out why no one likes it. It's like, well, because you don't take any advice from anybody. You just go out there and do this stuff the way you think it is, and you're also trying to make it politically correct. And it's like, well, you're really kind of hurting your fan base right there when you do that kind of stuff.
Well, they're trying.
To me, Marvel needs to completely rethink everything.
I'm not surprised by the Ms. Marvel series, because I mean, who is the demographic for the MCU is probably guys like us. There's a bit of an age range with me in it, but they got to get the fresh batch coming through,
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Well, and go ahead, Jerry, sir.
Oh, it's just they're sacrificing story for money and political correctness and demographics. Hey, we don't have any. We're not hitting the 8 to 14 young females, or transgender, whatever. So we have to work that in. No, you don't. It'll sell a few more tickets, but that's why I like those early ones best. The Captain America, the Iron Man, because they had great stories. It doesn't matter what the genre is. It was a good movie, no matter if it's a superhero movie or not. I know some people say, "Oh, I'll never go see a superhero movie." It's just a good movie. Those are good movies, but they've lost it. So that was my rant. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
All right, you're right.
I was so vicious, Jerry. You were so vicious with your speech.
I'm just a little bitch.
Yeah. No, but it's a problem that's been plaguing comics for. I've just gotten back into comics in the last couple of years, and it's something I went like, whoa, what the hell happened? When you come back from the 90s and 2000s, you're like, what the hell is this? And it's stuff that's now infiltrating. It's worked its way up through the comics. Now is getting to the movies, where you have what built the universe on the backs of nerds and people who cared about your stories. and now you're trying to insert, different all the modern day politics into comic books, where it's one of the reasons that people go to comic books and go to manga and go to anime and go to movies is the escapism of it all. And now the politics have infiltrated the comic books, and now you're going to scare off the normies that enjoy the MCU. Sorry, Jerry, I don't mean to call you there, but people who are just MCU people who don't have very much, who all they have invested is the movies. But that's a long time, because if you were invested the whole time, you've got over 15, almost 20 years invested now. But people who have been invested in the comic books for well before that, once you scare off the MCU fans and you are left with the Marvel comic book fans of just the comic book fans, your bedrock of what you built it on, and that's all you have left, and you start to alienate them, then you're in real trouble.
And
I think they're starting to alienate them first.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, and that's part of the thing, is because, and I keep saying that, and this is going to be, nerds speak with their wallets. They're one of the few groups that do, because, and they're starting to realize this, all the groups that they're trying to pander to don't actually buy anything. They might buy a few movie tickets here and there, but we're the ones who buy, the shirts. We buy the toys. We buy the comics. We buy the books. We buy the movies. We buy anything that's associated with them. We spend probably $100 to every single one of their dollars on, on the things that we like, because we have no problem showing our pride in the things that we like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and that's one of the other things that, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do the show, because I think the fans are starting to make a turn. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, Jerry, you don't collect toys very much, do you?
No, never really have. There's
Let
anything wrong with that. I just never got into it.
we'll let you stick around for it.
Oh, thanks.
But one of the things, and once again, we brought this up for the show. There's been 2 HasLab projects. So HasLab is the ones where they do the crowdfunding.
And,
So what they'll do-
Matty Collector too for Mattel. And
Yep.
then there's another one. I don't remember.
Well, I know. Well, NECA does it. All the big ones do. They're crowdfunded projects, and Hasbro has the licenses for Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Marvel, and they produce all the figures for them. And so, on occasion, they'll do a few projects a year, where they have what's called a crowdfunded project, where it's a very limited amount of what they do. And there's been 2 projects that have failed. Does anybody want to guess what franchises or what franchise has failed the last 2 times where they tried to do a project for?
The only reason I think I know is because I watched your guys' show.
If you guessed Star Wars, my friend, you guessed correctly. So the last 2 projects that they tried to crowdfund through HasLab have failed. And this one failed miserably. The Reva Star Wars Black Series, Reva, the Third Sister Force FX lightsaber, did not even come close to getting its number. So its target was 5,000. It came up 1413. Adam and I have been tracking this since the Kenobi show came out. When we started tracking it, it was just over 1,000, I think. And in the time since then, so it just ended just the other day.
Oh boy!
In that time, it only got an extra 350 backers or so. So why do I say this? Because now let's go check out another franchise.
Here comes the Hiss tank.
Here comes the Hiss, baby. So this is the G.I. Joe Cobra Hiss. Jerry, what would you say if I told you that this project not only got funded, it's got more. Its target was higher, but not only that, it has so far doubled what it needed for its backing.
How?
Still, it's well. I'm glad you asked, Jerry. Well, take a look at the.
And for some odd reason, I have the European one up. I apologize. I don't know why.
That's right. No, you had. If you look at the HasLab, and this is, I'm just throwing it out there. You look at that HasLab lightsaber. It's based off of the character Reva.
Yeah.
It's called Reva's lightsaber. Well, who's that? You
Right.
know what I mean? And I mean, I want like Mace Windu's lightsaber. Maybe I want Luke's lightsaber. Hell, maybe I want Rey's lightsaber. Maybe Kylo Ren's. But what the hell is this? Maybe, like Nick says, they should have called it the Inquisitor lightsaber
Yeah.
instead of trying to force a character down your throat that really wasn't that interesting to begin with.
I
So
agree.
it failed.
Yeah.
If it was Vader's lightsaber, what do you think would have happened?
Well, there's a couple things, and I brought this up. I put it on a post yesterday is there a franchise that is more out of touch with its fan base and does not even have close to its finger on the pulse? Because G.I. Joe, whoever is running the G.I. Joe
Dude.
stuff right now, is killing it.
Oh
Its
my God,
target
they're awesome.
for this project was the target was 8,000. It's got 16,000 backers and counting. It still has 32 days to go. I plan on getting this later. Once I get a couple bucks in my pocket, yeah, I'm probably going to do this because it not only doubled it, and plus you get all the goodies that come with it because all the stretch goal things were met. You get
The upgrades are awesome.
all
Oh
the
my
upgrades
God.
are amazing. They're just such nerdy goodness that it's like, oh,
But how do kids? Is it because of the action figure, or is there a comic book out there, or is it the movies, or?
Well, it's not for children. These crowdfunding things are aimed at the adult collector, which that's why they're crowdfunding.
They're aimed right for us.
Yeah, because they can't make this for children.
Gotcha.
The price point.
They do
on it's
actually, though.
What?
You
That
can
nice?
get the no, but they don't do it that nice. But they make like if anyone wants to get in, they start remaking all the like 4-inch figures now.
oh yeah,
No,
They're
I mean,
making a lot of
order-
stuff.
and
I'm
there's
talking
and
about
there's
the hiss.
well, they
that's
have
gonna-
they have a 3 3/4
Yeah.
hiss.
Yeah, it
But
fits
this-
the 4-inch
this is-
figures.
Yeah, this is for the 6-inch figures.
This is 1/12 scale. That's what I'm saying. This is a
Yes.
1/12 scale.
Mhm.
This is not. This can be for children, yes, but it's so big. Parents are going to walk in and say $350.
Right.
I'm not buying. I'm not putting this under the tree for Christmas. What are you fucking nuts?
Yeah,
Here, let me give you the 3/4 inch version. That's the
Right.
difference.
yes, and that is the difference because
Mhm.
specifically, Jerry, these big crowdfunded ones are aimed directly at, like Jay was saying, us, the collectors, the actual hardcore collectors. Because now let's say, hey, Jerry, you want to make a little investment, because, like I said, I apologize for some odd reason I've got the European one up, so it's $299 in the U.S. dollars. So for $300, if you bought, let's say you bought the limit, you bought 5 of these, you spent $1,500. When these came out, if you wanted to flip them, you could easily minimum double your money, if
Oh,
not
yeah.
triple.
Easy.
So
Those are gonna go fast.
yes,
I'm on the website right now. This is my first time on, but they're scrolling down. They have Spengler's Proton Pack.
oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was one of the crowdfunding. I think that one has closed. I don't know where that one ended up
It's
at.
funded. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Well, that's the thing. Out of all the things that HasLab has done, only 2 have failed, and they're both Star Wars projects. And that's why
The Rancor's the other one, right?
Rancor,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, the Rancor failed. But I think, and I have a theory as to that one as well. That was the first time the fans could actually stick it back to Star Wars, because this is not on Hasbro at all. Hasbro produces very quality figures. Any collector will say that. I mean, we can nitpick who's the best. That's a different argument. But this is not on Hasbro. But for me, I think the failure of the Rancor specifically was the first time since the Gina Carano firing, the first time the fans kind of gave the bird to Disney and said, "Screw you, we're not buying your stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I just want to point something out here for everyone in case you don't know. In between the headlights there, those red dots, that was designed by the same guy who designed Kit from Knight Rider.
No kidding.
And so that's a when he designed the hiss, it was a nod, or the other's a nod the other way, whichever came first.
Yeah, because this is what's his name? But they have it in here. All headed over because that was one of the big selling points. Is it's the original. These are all based off the original designer of all the GI Joe stuff. Because that's another thing. Like the GI Joe stuff, especially the toys, are killing it. But IDW's putting out. I think it's a Saturday morning cartoon, or it's a comic based off of. It's got the art looking just like the cartoon, and that's doing very well. So I mean, whoever's doing the stuff for GI Joe right now is knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
And then you have Star Wars, and Star Wars can't get out of their own way, and even Marvel, MCU can't get out of their own way.
Nope.
Yeah, that's too bad. Oh yeah, they got a Ms. Marvel action figure too.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Those yeah.
I don't expect a gift for doing this from you guys, but if you ever were giving gifts for your guests, don't dick around and give us the Ms. Marvel action.
Barry, you were getting our first gift. You were getting our first gift.
That wouldn't even be funny, man.
Yeah, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be rude. It's not gonna be a hiss either. So,
Okay,
and I don't know. I don't know what you're. Not sure what you're going after, but you're not getting a hiss either.
Well, gents, I hate to be the first one to leave the party, but the old ball and chain is calling me. So.
Hey, well, thanks for coming, or thanks for being on.
Dude,
Thanks
I
for.
love this. I love this. Jay, it was so nice meeting you. Maybe I get to meet
Hey,
you.
it's nice meeting you too, Jerry.
And yeah, anytime, guys. Anytime. Keep up the great work. I love the show.
Thanks a lot.
Jerry.
Yes.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. So thanks, Jerry, for spending the time with us. So, yeah, that's one of the ways I think fans are starting. Like I said, fans very much show their appreciation by buying your stuff, and Star Wars fans are saying no. Because I know Adam, you and I talked before that sail barge got funded probably within a day or two.
But that
Because
was
you get-
quality, though, too. The Rancor was a piece of shit. And
Well,
on top of that,
there's multiple reasons why
yeah,
the Rancor and the lightsaber did not get funded, and two of them are the price.
Whoever put
Yeah.
that Rancor out to say, this is our, and had the audacity to charge that price, they should be ashamed of themselves because the
Because
quality
what they want
on
for the
that-
Rancor?
350.
same 350, same, a little bit higher than this.
But the stretch goals weren't there, and I literally went, because I was like, should I? It's Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and I did. I went to eBay and I searched Rancor looking for the original Rancor. I could have picked the one up for $75,
Oh, yeah.
and and just for my nostalgia bait, I'd rather have the original Rancor.
No, I get it.
That Rancor, and then for the Reva lightsaber, Jay, you know how much they wanted for the Reva lightsaber?
Oh, I dread even hearing this. What?
500.
Oh, Jesus.
500. And I mean, what do you even have for stretch goals if it didn't make it? Because
Yeah.
there's so many. I mean, it's little things and it's guns and it's this and that, but there's so many cool things to add on. You can't add anything to the lightsaber.
I can't even.
What are you
I
gonna
can't
throw in
remember the.
What are you gonna do with throwing a Black Series Reva figure? No, thank you.
There's another company out there that makes lightsabers now, and I can't remember the name of
There's
them.
several. There's a few my buddy sent me. Here, I'll
But-
pull. My buddy sent me a link. One.
Well, one of them you literally can get every color in a lightsaber.
Yeah.
In one lightsaber, you can have every color.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I mean it's like, and actually the one they showed was the lightsaber from Fallen Order, from Jedi Fallen.
Yeah.
Jedi
my-
Fallen Order.
my buddy sent me. I'll try and pull it up here. It's called Real Sabers, and they had all the sabers that you could really want. You could make, get a nice cheap one if you just wanted one, or they had all custom ones from if you wanted, Ezra's from Rebels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I was looking up. I was like, those look good enough for me, man. And so real lightsabers. So they've got, you can build your own. Shop the stock ones that they've got. They've got effects lightsabers, and I know that's one of the things too. Is like if you get the blade, if it's got a NeoPixel is one of the things. I mean, for 184, 194, 194, 214.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh yeah, that's the.
And
those
I
are-
don't even need the full saber. I'm more interested in just having the hilts,
And they sell both of them like that too now. You can either get just the hilts or you can get the full sabers. But like the full sabers, I mean, they come with not only the sound effects of like fighting, but if you touch it against something, it'll do the like, bzzz, how when the two lightsabers hit or something like that. You get the effect when it goes up, goes down. I mean, and yeah, look like right there, you can buy every color. I mean,
Yeah, so let's just pull up the Azure Reaper. So like the options. So you can get, so it's got a stunt saber, standard saber without sound, saber with basic sound, ultra pixel saber with sound. Yeah, there's literally anyone you want. So the diamond saber, the ultimate LED and sound controller with gesture recognition. So like you said, so while you're waving it around, it's doing all the boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So. Like you said, empty saber hilt, saber premium sound. Yeah, whatever you want. And you know what? And this is a big thing. Hey, if you're tired of giving your money to Disney, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jeez, man.
Oh God, that I know. At Sergeant Red's, that Jabba's barge, the sail barge. That's like $2,500 there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That one. That's how much it is. 2,500.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, they have a. Oh, look at that. Look what they got.
I can't see.
Oh, mama.
Oh,
shit.
Thundercats.
Oh yeah.
Who's doing this?
It's the same place.
Oh, the same place. Okay, gotcha.
Holy mother.
That's pretty wicked, actually.
Yeah, that's. And that it's a very reasonable price. Look at that. I got a bunch of it.
I have to say the one I just watched. If you guys haven't watched it yet, if you get a chance, watch Berserk.
I've watched part of that on Netflix. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. Patrick and I and Shawnette, we sat down there and watched all 3 episodes, and it was good.
Well, that's Jay. That's one of the things I kind of wanted to get into. So if you're sick of the stuff, and I don't want to make it a Disney bashing, but it's just because they're the biggest. So, but what are some of the other things that you guys are watching? You just named one, Jay. Berserk.
Well, Berserk, The Boys, Invincible.
Yeah. Invincible.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I was watching Star Trek Discovery there for a little bit. That's a good show. There's a ton of shows out there. I mean, it's like even hard to try and list them all, because it's like every now and then something new will come out. Like Shawnette and I have been watching Mindhunters on Netflix.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's a great show. I love that show. Obviously Stranger Things. You name it. There's a lot of them out there right now.
Yeah, one of the ones that it's new on Prime, and this gets into sort of kind of where I think things are kind of going. Where with Maverick being as successful as it is, I think, and we alluded to kind of the whole thing. We just kind of haven't said it. Where I think there's a lot of superhero fatigue for your average consumer. For the nerds like us, you're going to have our attention every time. But the show that just came out, Terminal List on Prime, I do not I do not binge shows very much. I binged this in about 2 days. It's 8 episodes. It stars Chris Pratt as James Reese, and the author is a retired Navy SEAL sniper, and he tells the story. It's basically like a good old '80s revenge tale where he's got a list of people who did him wrong and killed his family, and he's just killing people left and right, and it's awesome.
Cool.
And it's Chris Pratt doing, yeah, and that's part of the thing too. I think sometimes there's a little bit too much of certain actors. I
I'll
think
be right back,
Chris
guys.
Pratt, sure. I think Chris Pratt is there for some people. Either you like Chris Pratt or you don't. I like Chris Pratt. I think he's a good dude. This show's fantastic.
Yeah, I like Chris Pratt. He's all right. He's a good actor. I like to see him do some other stuff. I want to see him go on, be successful.
Well, I think
as far as what I'm watching,
I think he catches a lot of flack that he doesn't.
as far as what I'm watching, I'm going to finish watching Peacemaker, and that's a wrap. No more television. I will be sticking to newer movies and older movies that I like. And then I've got something else and some other stuff I got to direct my free time to. But I can share what I have started to do for a pastime is something that I said I was going to do when I initially started playing the Arkham Batman games. I said it'll be good to have all these because someday I'll be older and I'll want to play them all again. Well, I bought Return to Arkham Asylum, Return to Arkham City for $8 download on Xbox One. And I've started from the beginning. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go through all 4 of the games. And so, yeah, no more TV for me. Just new movies. I'm going to finish Peacemaker, and then that's it. And then I'm going to try to work in a little more exercise and editing into my life.
I will say one completely off the board, but I kept hearing about it because I listened to Chris Gore's podcast on Film Threat, and he talks a lot about, he very much has his ear to the ground on different movies coming up, and he kept talking about this Bollywood movie RRR that's on Netflix, and he kept raving about it. I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for something different. I keep hearing all these different things about some of these Bollywood movies. I know they're over the top and a little bit silly, but I watched RRR, and it was awesome. It's a 3-hour movie. I mean, I had to break it down into bits and pieces, but the storytelling was different. There was no agenda with anything. It was just I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to sit down and watch this movie, and I just enjoyed myself. So, and I think they've got a lot of different Bollywood movies, and I have no problem watching, checking out some more Bollywood movies.
What's a Bollywood movie?
It's India cinema.
Oh, okay. So you gotta read the subtitles.
There are some subtitles, some in English, but one of those things when it comes to like a subtitle movie, after a while, like I don't even realize I'm reading anymore. So,
well, no, I was going to actually say, like, since I started acting like older members of my family, going, "What do you say?
What do you say?"
And I live alone, and no one's here, and I back it up a couple times and still can't hear it. Fuck it. Now I watch shit in closed captioning all the time.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do, and a lot of people notice that they pick up more things with closed caption.
You do. And then I've also noticed that some things, that's not what they said. They literally said, that's exactly what they said. Sorry.
They said "luck at him."
I don't know. I'm a physical speaker.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
But Jay, yeah, I'll agree with you. I have not finished the third season of The Boys yet, but we did finish the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy. That was garbage.
Oh my god, I haven't even seen it yet. Shawnette watched it. I love the first 2 seasons of Umbrella Academy. I thought they were really good, but yeah, Shawnette said the 3rd season was terrible.
Hot garbage. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So, if Sean wants to come on and talk about Umbrella Academy one time, she's more than welcome to. But yeah, I was not a fan.
No.
So that one's even my wife, because we went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder with a couple friends, and it was funny because we're sitting in the car afterwards, and she goes, "So what'd you think?" I was like, "I thought it was a piece of shit." She's just like, "Same." So and our one friends were like, "Oh, it was great. It was this and that." And I'm just like, I can't do that anymore. I can't just sit there and consume anymore. I have to. If it's something shit, I'm gonna call it out. And she was talking to her one friend who also watched Umbrella Academy, and she's like, "Oh, she thought it was great." I was like, "What'd you think?" I thought it sucked. I was like, "See, now you're coming over to the dark side of where you start like, hey, what do you know? That's a piece of shit. Why? Because it's a piece of shit. I'm not going to say it's nice because it's on a TV show that I like." I was like, "No, it's crap. I'm calling it what it is. It's crap. Not opinion, objectively crap."
Objectively crap. I kept wondering when Thor would show up in Thor, because Natalie Portman was there. She gave a good performance, and the voiceovers were good. There was the guy that played the secretary in Ghostbusters, Lady Ghostbusters. He was in the movie, and oh wait, that was Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth was that?
Oh,
dude, mic drop, Adam.
Yeah. It was the secretary from Lady Ghostbusters, though.
Yeah, because it certainly wasn't Thor from at least the first couple movies.
He was dumb as a fucking bucket of hair.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
He was. Thor's a dumbass now. He's just dumb.
Yep. It's one of the podcasts or one of the shows YouTubers I watch is Nerdrotic, Gary from Nerdrotic, and he's been calling this for the last few years the MCU. And I've been trying to fight it. I've been trying to, well, not really, but you just look like, no, it's the MCU, because they're replacing as much of the original cast of the Avengers, the male Avengers, the female Avengers. When there is a male Avenger on screen, he is bracketed by two females who are smarter than him, better than almost everything than him. And as well as things, I was like, no. And then you just have to watch it and you're like, that's exactly what's going on. They're releasing the stuff for Wakanda Forever, where now it's all going to be. Is it Shuri? Is her name the sister?
Sure.
She's going to be the Black Panther. She's going to be mentored by Killmonger. Yep. And then they're going to have Ironheart in there as well. So now we have our female Iron Man, and the MCU is almost complete.
Oh God.
I was about to tell you something. Fuck me up.
I don't know.
So this is what. Aren't you glad you came on now, Jay?
Oh yeah, I'm always excited to be on here, but no, it's just no. You're right. I knew it was going to be this because I just been waiting to unload on the MCU since Doctor Strange, because Patrick and I literally looked at each other like 10 minutes into the movie, and it's like, what the hell is this? And by the end of it, we were just so pissed off that we even spent money on it. It's like, if I would have known it was going to be that crappy, I would have never went and seen it. And that's why as soon as Thor comes out, the way Ragnarok was, I'm like, nope, I ain't going near that one.
Hey, I'm not trying to be any kind of disrespectful. We're family. We are family. You and I just want to ask you a question about the comics, because you know the comics well. So I'm not being a smartass. Korg in the comics, does his people reproduce with other men by holding hands and sticking their hands in hot lava until they make a rock baby together and put it up? Because that's how they do it in the movie.
They've never even done that. The thing that doesn't make sense about Korg is Korg and Thor are mortal fucking enemies.
Well, and there's that, and also, no one cares about sex in comic books. That's not why we read the comic books. As much as people was like, oh, you just like the girls with boobs. I was like, what's your past like a month of that? If that's the reason you're still coming back to comics, you have a problem. The reason you come back to the comics is because of the stories, because of the universe that is created. Don't really care about the looks. And that's why a lot of people are upset because, oh, it's all sexualized. I was like, you're sexualizing the characters now. You're adding more.
You're doing
stuff. You're the ones doing it.
I told Adam this before. I go, why don't we leave the whole sex thing about superheroes to porn parodies?
I don't
And-
want that in anything
Yeah.
that I watch. I don't care who you sleep with at the end of the story. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care if you're hi Sean.
Hi, sis.
I don't care if you're doing whatever. I don't care what you do. During the comics, I just want a good story. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. And in the comics or in the comic book movies, that's what I want. I don't need sexy girls. I don't need all that stuff. I just want a good freaking superhero story.
I gotta defend sexy women in comics for 1 second, though. Real quick. Just because
I do like Vampirella.
Well, yeah, but
Who
there's a
doesn't?
lot of female characters are right up there as my favorite characters, you know. And I'm sorry, but I would kick Vampirella out of the bed and invite Black Canary in. Just gotta say. But all joking aside, like the men in comics are buff. They wear the tight shit and all that. And women should be the same way. They should have that, you know, same kind of trope. Unless you're gonna be like a Christopher Reeve Superman, and you don't have to look that way. But you know, women should be, you know, built at that extreme femininity. I feel that should be like as a rule, but that's how superheroes look. You know, it's not like
No, I
always
agree.
looked. You know,
Look,
I
and
agree.
I don't have a problem with comic book companies trying to gain audience. That's how it works. I understand how capitalism works. You throw out a net, you want to catch as many fish as you can. I get it. But when you start changing core values of a character that change it so much it alienates your fan base, you're failing.
Yep.
yeah. I'm about to sound like something I'm not, but I do mean this when I say this. In the show Supergirl in the last season, they gave her pants instead of the skirt, and you'd think that would work, and that's fine if you want to. But honey, not those pants. I'm sorry. That suit looked like shit.
Not flattering.
Not at all.
But
Sorry.
also, so one of all the other things I wanted to bring up. So one of the YouTubers, I don't know, I think I'm between you guys more into the YouTube universe than some of you guys because but one of the YouTubers I listen to he calls himself Rippa. And he has been ragging on Marvel and DC for as long as I've been watching YouTube. And he actually started his own comic book universe through crowdfunding that just launched the other day. I think last time I saw his crowdfunding, he was expecting to get about 75,000, you know, for the project. He's already gotten over $1.5 million from backers
Wow.
Nice.
from an unknown universe that he's creating because he's put out a video. He said, "Hey, it's, you know, we're not going to worry about politics. We're not going to worry about sexual orientations. You're going to get superheroes and you're going to get superhero stories." The end. And just from saying that, he's already raised over $1.5 million.
I think that's great. I think that'll usher in some maybe like new blood, new characters and stuff. But the big two will figure this out. They will say, hey. Because Marvel and DC is not going to let this go forever. They're not going to let this roll.
Well, and it's funny you say that because they're trying to sit there and play with the numbers because there was a article that just came out with the numbers for last year's comics where they say they're more profitable than they've raised more money than they ever have. That's because they raised the price on all the books. Not because you sold more of them, it's because you charged more. That's how you made more money, guys. And they're trying to spin it as like, no, comics are successful. I was like, go look at the manga numbers, guys. Do me a favor.
Oh God,
Be
yeah.
honest. Look at the manga numbers versus the Western. Hi, Sean.
Howdy.
And so just look at the numbers and you'll know exactly what, you know, which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah, I just real quick, I think you and I explored different branches of YouTube. I've got a lot of things in my personal life I'm behind on because all I do is watch YouTube. And so no,
I drive around all day, so I get to listen to whatever I want.
Well, no,
What's
but
that?
because, and this is for all you guys at home, for the things that Nick has shared with me on YouTube. It's all new to me, and then I've sent him stuff he'd never seen either. So we kind of have this. I'm not gonna say half and half because it's just a branch. YouTube is just all snake that's eating its own tail. So.
I'm bad when I'm not watching Tech Zone or something goofy like that. I listen to a few. I watch a few of the guys. Like I watch the big ones, like Variant Comics. I watch that one. I watch.
I love Variant.
Rob Comics Explained, and yeah, I still watch Comic Storian because I love Comic Storian. If you haven't watched him, he's great. Reading all like the big sagas, pretty much.
Comic Storian's awesome. He plucks out. He cuts off just enough and can. Sometimes is 2.5 hours, 3 hours long.
Oh yeah, but I love how he does it. It's just awesome, It's 9 o'clock.
All right. So let's get into let's start to wrap it up. So what are we reading and watching? I know Jay, you kind of got into some of what you're watching. What are you reading right now?
Reading, well, I gotta get back into it. Reading hasn't been. I've been rereading Spawn, from #1, and man, there's still some great stuff in that comic. I'll tell you, if you haven't read Spawn from #1, it's absolutely awesome. Yeah, I just said. I was talking about Berserk already. Also, I'm reading. If you haven't, I did like Dark Ages, Marvel Avengers Dark Ages. That was a really good. It's a little 6-issue short. It was really a fun read. It was really cool. They kind of did it.
What's that about?
So Dark Ages it's kind of like an apocalyptic. It's a future apocalyptic thing that happens, and it knocks out. Basically, there's a Titan in the Earth, or not Titan, but oh Jesus, what's the big ones?
Celestial?
Having a brain. There's kind of like a celestial killer in the Earth, and he comes to life. And when he comes to life, the Avengers go to try and stop him. Well, Doctor Strange does a spell that basically makes him into a constant EMP pulse. That's going to in order to stop him, he makes him a constant EMP pulse. And so that makes him, basically it knocks out all the power in the world. And you can't get any power because this EMP is continuing to go. And so the Avengers, living in their post-apocalyptic world, they have to get around not having any power. So, you got an Iron Man suit that's made of steam.
I love steam.
Oh God, what else? Like everybody's kind of adapting. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, it's a little bit steampunk. It's a lot of cool stuff that goes on. Like vampires and werewolves have kind of taken over at night, and so there's a team of Avengers like Blade, X-23. I know she's got a sister too, and I don't know her name, but they're like part of the Night Hunters that go out and they keep the the Avengers part of their world safe. Stop doing that under the chair. It was really good. I got to get back into them too, but I've been reading all the new Spawn universe branch offs. So
yeah, I've really enjoyed
kind of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the new Spawn stuff. I love Gunslinger. Gunslinger's one of my favorite.
He's
Spawn
wicked.
One of my favorite new characters. I've been reading Scorch. Hey, Patrick.
What's up?
Hey, tell him we need to ask him a question. Tell him he's got to get out here in a minute.
Get back here in a minute. They need to ask you a question.
What's up?
Yeah. So, but the Gunslinger, Scorched, King Spawn, it's all been good stuff. So
yeah, they're great.
Hey, that new McFarlane figure that's coming out tomorrow, is that a dead risen Talon?
Oh, it has to be. Has to be.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up so that people know.
Yeah, Nick didn't know that the army of Talons was the undead.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
No, he got excited. I wasn't knocking him. Damn. That's the 2-pack Batman there from Hush.
It's hard to see on my phone.
I can't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hush one?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's got that mouth open looking thing, so I'm gonna put him on a motorcycle.
Oh, cool.
So this is all the stuff that McFarlane announced today.
Well,
Who is
I
Oh,
It's Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
yeah
Damn.
Isn't that Rebirth Deathstroke?
yeah
Yes.
yeah. I gotta get it.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, he makes it so hard. Damn it.
Ocean Master.
Oh yeah, it's like Godfather 3. You think you're out, and then next thing you know, he starts announcing all this stuff. Like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's finally
Yeah,
putting out the shit,
exactly.
like, yeah.
So, Deathstroke. Yeah, this is why I was because Adam, there's people already got these figures out on the Facebook page.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that looks wicked.
And then
Oh
This is-
yes,
this is
super.
the one. So that's the one I was asking about.
Yeah, this is That I think that's a talent. I could be totally wrong though.
Damn.
I could be totally wrong. But
Dude, he's killing me because I can't stop buying his stuff. It's like, and then I don't want to like go all hog wild with DC because we literally have no more room to put stuff. But I also want the Spawn stuff, you know. It's like, and it's
Yeah.
like, but God, Man-Bat looks so freaking cool. There's another $50 I'm gonna spend when he comes out.
he's out now. He's sold out.
Yeah,
no, of course.
great. I mean, he's just gonna be nothing
Killer
but
Croc
power.
though.
Hey,
You
Jay,
get Killer
go-
Croc
Oh,
though.
is he out too?
Yeah, Jay, go to the GameStop in Port Huron. I don't know how often you make it up this way, but the GameStop Port Huron is stacked with stuff usually.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. It's that's the one. Is it Port Huron or Fort Gratiot? The one right there by Meyer and
Yeah.
all that. Okay.
No, it's that one closed. It's the one by TJ Maxx, and so it's just before
Oh, okay. Yep. I know where it's at.
across by
Yeah, that-
Lowe's and one of the ones that things that I don't need to start collecting, but I started buying. So GI Joe, Zartan, I love.
Yeah.
So I and that's one of the things too. I forgot how many cool characters and like GI Joe's got so many good bad guys. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
Destro, oh, freaking Zartan, oh, all the Australian guys. I don't remember their names, but all those guys.
The Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, the Dreadnoughts, or the robot ones. I was like, God, like
Bats.
yeah, the bat.
Oh my God, Sergeant. Yeah, John just showed me the new bat figure. Oh my God, does that look
They're
freaking
so-
awesome?
Like I said, dude, whoever's doing the GI Joe stuff, they're freaking killing it. They're absolutely killing it.
And they haven't done the Twins or Serpentor yet.
No, yeah, they haven't even gotten there yet. I'm like, oh my gosh. So because like when it comes to Transformers, I need me some Transformers. I only need like 5. I only need like a few of the Transformers. The GI Joe is gonna be bad. GI Joe is gonna be a bad.
You
Yeah.
need those 3.
That's that. All right. So my list is: I need an OG Optimus Prime, OG Megatron. I need a Soundwave. I need a Starscream, and I need at least a Grimlock.
That actually, I gotta say, for an Optimus Prime and for a Starscream, the War for Cybertron ones, it was based off that Netflix one. Optimus was.
Get the Coronation Starscream.
Yeah, but they started making the movie, the Studio Series 86 figures,
Yeah.
from the 86 cartoon movie. That Coronation Starscream it's probably one of the best ones out there.
Mhm.
Absolutely, and Kingdom. It's weird because they did a lot of the 86 movie stuff, and then they did like some of the War for Cybertron stuff. It looks like it's Gen 1.
Yes.
You know, like they did Galvatron and Rodimus Prime as part of
Kingdom series.
the Kingdom series. And I mean, we grab me Rodimus. I mean, Rodimus actually looks pretty damn wicked.
I think that was actually my first purchase from Sergeant Reynolds
Yeah.
too.
So, I mean, he looks really good. And in comparison with Galvatron,
No, that's the
He-
thing. I was
he
saying
looks-
they're awesome, but I only need a handful. But GI Joe's gonna be a problem. GI Joe is
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a problem. Did you see the Target exclusive for Duke?
Yeah, he looks wicked.
Duke on
And the motorcycle?
Yeah.
I love what Hasbro's been doing with that. That series is awesome. It's like I can't do the money. It's like
Well, that's it.
because
Yeah. It's like I said, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And that's
the only thing so far that I didn't like that they did was the Sky Striker.
Oh, really?
You know, the F-14. Well, it looks great, but like the HISS tank fits all the figures. The Sky Strikers, it's more like a statue. It's almost like the original size.
Yeah, because if it were 6-inch scale, I mean that thing would be a monster. But I understand.
Cool.
Yeah, come on, dude. Trust that because that's because first of all, like when it comes to jets, like jets are like the F-14's my freaking favorite. That's one of the reasons I love the original Top Gun. And then when that came out, I was like, oh no. And then that's before I really realized, got into the crowdfunding like HasLab thing. I was like, oh, thank God, like I didn't have money for that because that would be gone. But
how much is that Target exclusive Duke?
That's 42. It's not bad. It's not bad.
No,
Like
it ain't bad at all.
it ain't bad. That's the problem. Like they're very reasonably priced. They're in your average GI Joe figure is in the 20 to 25 range.
Yeah.
And
I love the way they look. Flint
least,
and Lady J look awesome.
That one I picked up from GameStop with my GameStop $5 off thing. $10 figure.
And your towels in the dryer.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love the way they all look.
Yeah, it's as I've repeated 17 times. These are going to be a problem. These are going to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, guys, I got to get going. I got to tap out. Sorry.
All right, Jay. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
And thanks, Patrick and Sean, for letting them join us.
Sean, it's not in her head.
See you, Patrick.
All right, guys. Take care.
See you guys.
All right. See you. Take care. Have a good one.
Bye. And we're down to 2. Wait, why can't I hear you?
And it's
There we go.
down to the content creators. I had to do a manly function, and I didn't want it to be heard.
Did you poop? Pee?
No, I passed gas. A manly function. Get it?
You farted.
I'm not saying that on fucking TV.
That would be crass and rude.
I can say fuck though, right? I can say that I'm farting. I don't talk like that. What the fuck, man?
What's your bleeping problem, son?
It's weird what we choose to be conservative about, isn't it?
No, not yet. Almost. So, but one thing I do have to share, and I just picked this up, and this figure is awesome. And I did a little. Hey, why can't we focus now? Okay. So, the cat ruined everything. Hold on. Never mind. We'll fix that in a second. There we go.
Ah, fuck it. Look at that. I like that Lego Batmobile right there.
Oh yeah.
God, Legos could take me, dude.
Well, that's another one. I was like, that is not just a black hole. That to me, like, you know, the first Star Trek where it's like it's sucked in the black hole. It's already in there and it's trying to escape and it doesn't. That would be me and Legos.
Yeah,
that would be just strictly a black hole of no escaping. So
yeah, I think that I would probably like miss important stuff just to sit and build.
yes, no, that would be worse than the show. And
Yeah.
it would just
take
leave me alone in the office, and I'm just going to build my own universe. I 100% understand the Lego thing.
Gosh, man,
100%.
Batmobiles I'd get the big ones, you know.
Just the heads. I got one of the Batman heads, And I said, yeah, this could be a problem.
Yes.
It's 100% could be a
You and
problem.
I got
because-
Legos for Christmas this year.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. A family member got me one, and I'm like, oh, and we were staying at their house. I'll work on it just a little bit. 4 hours later, I'm like,
It was done.
done. It's done.
Jason bought me this Batmobile for Christmas, and I started tinkering. Might have literally opened the box, started tinkering, finished it. I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. I could not stop.
Yeah, because there's phases, and I just do the first couple phases, and next thing you know, I'm just like, you know what, I'll just keep working on it a little bit more, and then next thing I'm gonna finish it because we're still just sitting here, so I'm gonna freaking finish it.
It's when the neurons are firing up there, man. Firing.
It gets back to like that kid.
Mm.
It's the kid thing, and it's a great thing about it, like a guy thing. Like you feel like you're building, you feel like you're doing stuff with your hands, even though it's just a toy, but you're still building something. So, yeah, I totally get the Lego issue.
I mean, yeah, the customizing I've been doing and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying it's like awesome, but it's awesome. It's awesome fun to me. I enjoy it.
Yeah, just the Star Wars rabbit hole Legos I could go down, it'd be a problem.
Oh man.
So, but real quick, so this is the figure that I just picked up, and it's the Marvel Legends Thor Ragnarok figure. Did a little bit of customizing on the boots and the legs there and the cape, and I love this figure. The figure is freaking gorgeous as it is, without me adding to it. But just I love the spinning hammer effect. That's just cool. I don't care who we are. So that's my Thor Ragnarok figure with a little customization.
That's awesome, dude.
So,
it is amazing. I don't have anything to show off today. But you know, it's coming up. Coming up. Beastman's coming, guys. I'm sorry I didn't make the 4th of July deadline I set. I suck, but you know, it's coming.
It'll be fun. So, as far as reading, the only thing I really read recently was the Thor Gore the God Butcher that my friend Adam here lent me, and it was awesome. On that, I haven't read that much, so
yeah.
I did pick up some comics the other day, which are the new Spawn books. So I'll read those in the next couple days, and I'll have a review for those on the next coming show.
I'm all in. Can't wait. I'm hopefully I'm back to my regularly scheduled program with work. So hopefully I can sit down and it's only 6 books, so start and finish the Last Ronin.
So speaking of that, I don't know if we can show it or not, but this might get us kicked or a thing.
Why?
Copyright strike, but we'll see. That freaking Last Ronin trailer that you sent me.
Oh God, yeah.
This is one of the coolest damn things.
Need to end this.
This even got love from
family.
not the creators, but the creative team behind the Last Ronin comic. There's a pinned comment in here where it's like, dude, that's awesome. I'll show, but they have, because it was Tom Waltz right here, the guy who was part of the creative team. Wow, truly amazing. Thank you, Tom Waltz, IDW Publishing. So that's from one of the guys who was the creative teams behind this, and this is straight out of the comic book. This scene gave me goosebumps. I just went, holy shit.
No more talking.
Yeah, but this is I don't know if this is a crowdfunded thing or just a teaser, but if this becomes if this needs crowdfunding, I'm all in. So,
what, the actual whole production, or?
Yeah, I don't know if this is This is a nonprofit project I'm making for this amazing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles community, and because I love turtles, The Last Ronin, we are thrilled to have a platform such as YouTube so we can honor all the people who have worked with TMNT. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a continued ongoing thing or not, but if it is, if they need help supporting that, if they got a Patreon or something to help push that, I'm in. I'll help. I'll chip in on that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
So, but yeah, if
I
you
would
like,
too.
yeah, if you like if you have any interest as to what The Last Ronin is about, just watch that trailer. It's about, I think it's a 4-minute video. And if that intrigues you, that thing is straight out of the comic, and it's gorgeously done, but it is damn near shot panel for panel shot of the comic. So,
Hell yeah.
that being said, Adam, I think it's time to wrap it up. So,
Yeah, I had fun today.
that was fun, bitching about comics and nerdy stuff. But want to thank Jerry and Jay for joining us this evening. It's
Thank you,
always fun to have
fellas.
those guys on. And just want to thank all the other people that have watched and support and just continue to, that watch us nerd out. And if you want to nerd out with us, you are more welcome to. You can join us on YouTube here, or you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at The Escape with Nick and Adam. And if you want to take us wherever you go, we are also on Spotify. So Spotify is The Escape with Nick and Adam also. So, any last words, my friend?
I'll kneel before you if it'll save lives. It will, starting with your own. What I do for the lives and the safety of the people of this country and of this world. But there's one man who will never, ever kneel to you. Who is this imbecile? Bring him to me. You are not the president. One who kneels so quickly could not lead so many. Help me, Superman! Superman, where are you? Come to me, Superman! Kneel before Zod! Have a good one, Planet Houston.
Good night, America.